Hi everyone, welcome back to a rather delayed video. We've been a little bit busy.
We decided to take a few weeks and head to Chiang Mai to hang out with some friends.
It's been a while since we've been to Chiang Mai. We lived there for about 9 months in 2016, I want to say.
Luke was 1 when we first moved there, so it's changed quite a bit.
Yeah, it was really good to go back and visit some of, I guess, our old haunting grounds. Right now, this
Favourite.
is what, we used to call these guys the meat man. They just kind of sell different meats and rice, basically, and we used to come here every morning on the way to one of our favourite cafes, and it was just wonderful to go back and relive some of those old memories.
And it hasn't changed. It is still amazing. Meat Man was amazing. Ristretto is the cafe we're in. That was our daily back then, and that is also still super amazing.
Unfortunately, not everything has survived, as you can see here. This some of the most popular places. This was an incredible ice cream place. It was always packed, and it's unfortunately shut down. But my favourite bar with my favourite toilet with a view at Ya Yi in Chiang Mai is still there, and there are some great new big complexes that have been built that we hadn't seen, that were being built in 2016, and it was great to explore those with our friends who've also lived there before, and just do a lot of the usual things that you do in Thailand.
Like getting a massage, of course.
There have been, I would say, some big changes. I think Chiang Mai is very rapidly becoming something other than what it used to be, as far as a cheap hangout for digital nomads. Is definitely very easy to spend a lot of money there now compared to, I guess, what it used to be.
Yeah, a lot of delicious food and cocktails in like sky bars, and just loads of really cool new restaurants. This cocktail in particular was a lot of fun.
I think I did lose a few leg hairs on this one though, but definitely worth it. If you haven't been to Chiang Mai, often when we refer to Chiang Mai, we're actually predominantly talking about an area called the Niman area, which is kind of northwest of the old city square. Often tourists come to Chiang Mai, they actually go to the eastern side, which is more of a touristy area, but as far as the digital nomad scene, I would say that the coolest scene of Chiang Mai definitely is in Niman, and you have to come over. If you ever go to Chiang Mai, you have to go that way and explore the streets. It's also very close to somewhere that's very dear to Tessa's heart.
The zoo! I did the night safari with Luke when we first lived in Chiang Mai, when he was 1, but we never actually went to the zoo, so this time we packed him up and took him there. A lot of it is being rebuilt. I think they've taken the opportunity with COVID to close a few enclosures down and renovate them. But we still had a lot of fun feeding giraffes and baby tortoises. It is a huge zoo. We walked the whole thing. Not sure I'd recommend that with a little one. It was very hot. You can hire a golf cart or jump on little buses that will take you to different stops. What did you think of it?
Well, like you say, I kind of expected just to go there for a couple of hours. We ended up basically walking around in the heat for about 4 hours. So that was pretty full on, but yeah, it's a hard one to describe. It's always interesting when you go to zoos in countries like Thailand. You're not sure what to expect as far as, how well the animals are looked after, etc. And it does certainly, there are certainly areas where it feels a bit run down,
Yeah.
But on the flip side, we also saw them constantly feeding animals with, fresh food and
Loads of fresh veggies and fruits, like massive amounts, and it did all look very, very fresh, even though some of the enclosures did look dated and maybe people might think they aren't as well looked after. I'm not sure that is the case. But
yeah, there's definitely a lot to see, and it felt, I guess we would say, it felt like they prioritised this is just from us being there for 4 hours. But it did feel like they were prioritising looking after the animals more than, say, repainting some element of the zoo or something like that. So it seemed like they did have the animals as their priority.
Yes.
Is that fair enough?
Yeah. But it is worth checking before you go. Like, we were super excited at the idea of going. There's a kids' splash park halfway through the zoo, and we thought that would be a really good place to hang out for a while, eat some food and let Luke cool down, but it was actually shut down. So it's definitely good to double check a few things maybe before you go if you have your heart set on a particular enclosure or element of the zoo.
It's also fairly reasonable to get in, but they basically, once you're in, you just keep getting charged for everything else. So if you want to go see the panda, you got to pay extra. If you want to go to the aquarium, you got to pay extra.
And the aquarium is more expensive than the entry ticket to the zoo itself.
But probably, when we say more expensive, I think it was basically $6 Australian, basically $4 to get in the zoos.
Yeah.
So we're not talking heaps of money.
No. So, and the aquarium was probably double again.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful, there are some beautiful areas to walk through as well. So even though it was a lot of walking, if you can pick certain areas, this area was really nice walking paths.
I loved the red panda. He was unreal. As in, he just looked like he wasn't real. He just wanted to cuddle you. And this guy was hilarious. He was such a show-off. I could have sat and watched him for a while. But as soon as people came around, that was it. He was like, okay, watch me. Just watch me.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. There's some really, really cool things to see. This was probably my favourite part of the entire zoo, was just watching the penguins swimming around, having loads of fun. If you follow us on Instagram, you would have seen some extra behind the scenes footage there already of the penguins.
I think the penguins and quite a few of the different kinds of monkeys probably both our favourite, just because they just seem to really love life. They're just having so much fun all the time, just playing and swimming and jumping. And, this enclosure, there was, I don't know, it seemed like there were dozens of these little monkeys, and they were just jumping and carrying on. And then we basically finished up with these guys. So a very big day, but worth it in the end, I think. And not far from the zoo is actually the hill up to Doi Suthep, which is the big sort of, I guess, mountain you would say behind Chiang Mai, which everyone goes up. And we had to, of course, take the Song Towers or the red truck with a few friends to go up. And this is where you go up to the main temple where most people go, but our friends knew of a lookout that was past it. So we had to go check that out and make sure Luke gets into one of the red trucks before they eventually disappear.
If you get nauseous, it's definitely worth taking before you go up. There's lots of bends, and it's not a super long drive, but it's not a short drive up either.
Yeah, it was much longer than I remember.
Yeah. But it's worth it. So the views are amazing. Beautiful sunset. We're on an overcast day, but it was still magical up the top. And if you can grab some friends, it makes it even better.
And then it was back down the mountain. And we're going to finish up this video here, and we'll continue it in the next video.